Have you ever found yourself swept up in a wave of anger, only to regret your actions later? Imagine being able to control your anger before it gets out of hand. Is this even possible? The answer is yes, absolutely. But for those of us who are just beginning a spiritual journey, becoming aware of our anger in the heat of the moment can seem impossible. It largely hinges on our level of self-awareness. However, there's a potent tool at our disposal. It's mindfulness. All spiritual traditions emphasize mindfulness. It's like a superpower that helps us remain fully present in the moment and watch our emotions without passing judgment. It's an invaluable skill to learn, but there's a twist. When anger takes over, it often creates a turbulent and agitated mental state that completely disrupts mindfulness. Often we don't realize we're angry until it's too late. In fact, we may be so overwhelmed by our emotions that we remain largely unaware and unable to analyze our angry reactions until we think about them sometime later. So what can we do? Well, it all starts by looking back. Think of it like rewinding a film. We set aside time to think about our day. We reflect upon instances when anger made an appearance. It's all about being able to get a handle on our anger after the fact so we can learn to manage it and eventually master it. Have you ever tried to revisit a situation that triggered your anger? This is where contemplation, self-inquiry, and mindfulness comes in. It's a universal practice deeply rooted in spiritual traditions, designed to help us become more aware of our thoughts and emotions, including anger. It's like revisiting the moment that sparked your anger, only this time you're the observer. Picture the situation that ignited your anger, then sit with it. Don't judge it, just calmly observe it, and notice how you responded. By using this approach, we begin to discern recurring patterns, understand our triggers, and gradually learn to better manage our anger. The goal is to loosen anger's hold on our minds, replacing it with more constructive reactions by fostering positive and constructive emotions. Also, maintaining a journal can be a powerful tool for self-discovery. This involves asking yourself probing questions about your emotions, your reactions, and the triggers that set you off. If you document your daily experiences and emotional states, you can use a journal as a way to track your emotional reactions over time. You might start to see patterns and triggers that you hadn't recognized before. Through mindful self-reflection, you can gain valuable insights and weaken the grip of anger. But there's more. Keep a watchful eye on the everyday situations that kickstart your negative emotional responses. These moments are golden opportunities for increased self-awareness. When you feel a surge of anger, pause and take a deep breath. Search for the real cause of your anger. Examine whether the situation really justifies such a destructive emotion. Search yourself for the inner cause of your reaction. What were the thoughts, circumstances, or interactions that paved the way for anger to arise? The process of analyzing your anger unveils the underlying factors that contribute to your emotional reactions. Once again, this may not be all that easy at first, but if you stick with it, it'll become easier over time. To deepen our awareness and conquer anger, we can also use the 4 opponent powers from Tibetan Buddhism. After recognizing and analyzing our anger, we first genuinely regret the anger we felt or expressed. After all, as we learned in the last 2 videos, anger is an incredibly destructive affliction that sends harmful shock waves out into the world. Second, take steps to counter the harmful effects of your anger. This might mean making amends or seeking reconciliation. Third, make a firm and solemn commitment to avoid negative emotions in the future. And fourth, engage in practices to nurture qualities like loving kindness, compassion, empathy, and patience. Did you know that practicing positive virtues can help manage anger? Cultivating virtues with daily practice is a potent antidote to negative emotions. After all, anger, hatred, and resentment can't coexist with virtues like empathy, compassion, and kindness. They're like polar opposites. The positive repels the negative. And practicing these virtues not only creates a mental environment less conducive to anger, but also promotes self-reflection throughout the day. But how exactly do we cultivate these positive virtues? One way is through practices like loving kindness meditation. This technique encourages us to send kindness and warm-hearted feelings toward others, even our enemies, which fosters goodwill, understanding, and compassion. You can find detailed instructions in my previous videos and on our website at josaonline.com. As we cultivate positive virtues, we'll more readily notice our negative emotions as they arise. Why? Because harmful emotions stand in stark contrast to the feelings of loving kindness and compassion we're nurturing within ourselves. Cultivating positive virtues also requires that we pay attention to our inner lives, which increases our self-awareness. So by actively working on these virtues, we become more attuned to our emotional landscape, making it easier to notice negative emotions. Moreover, loving kindness meditation trains us to intentionally regulate our emotional responses. Instead of reacting with anger or hostility, we learn to respond with equanimity and compassion, which helps us remain calm and manage our anger. And cultivating virtues like loving kindness has a ripple effect. It boosts our capacity for empathy so we can see the world through others' eyes, and we see their struggles and understand their feelings. When we understand the challenges and suffering of others, we're more likely to respond to provocations with compassion instead of anger. Finally, loving kindness is closely intertwined with compassion, which is the innate desire to alleviate the suffering in others. As we nurture compassion, we become less inclined to react to perceived injustices with anger. Instead, we're motivated to seek solutions and offer support. Overall, loving kindness, meditation, and compassion help us regulate our emotions, empathize with others, and respond to challenges with understanding and wisdom. When we make an effort to develop positive qualities, we become more aware of our inner emotional world, and we gain valuable tools for diffusing anger before it consumes us, which is the topic of our next video in this series. Well, thanks for watching. If you haven't seen them yet, I urge you to watch all the other videos in this 4-part series about anger, hatred, and resentment. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to tell your friends about us. Perhaps I'll end this video with the following holy words of wisdom from His Holiness Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, one of the preeminent Nyingma masters from the 20th century. To meet someone who really hurts you is to meet a rare and precious treasure. Hold that person in high esteem and make full use of the opportunity to eradicate your defects and make progress on the path. If you cannot yet feel love and compassion for those who treat you badly, it's a sign that your mind has not been fully transformed and that you need to keep working on it with increased application. Well, thanks again. We'll see you here next time on Journey of Self-Awareness.